positive poem, so I'll read 3 from this book. This I wrote when my daughter was 10 and a half months old, and it's called Reading to You. And I've started reading it out again because she's now 12, and I really loved reading to her. And I remember the day, I don't know if any of you remember people reading to you, but it sort of stops after a certain age, and I really like it. I like going to poetry readings and story readings and getting books read to me again. And I remember when she was about maybe like 8, she said, "Oh, actually, Mum, can I just read a book myself?" And I was like, yeah, that's fine, and then went and had a nervous breakdown in the other room. So I miss it. So this is a poem about that. It's a very soppy poem about reading to my daughter. Reading to you. I've had some beautiful nights in my life. Sleepovers, sneaking downstairs to the fridge, tiptoes with stomachs of bubbling giggles and wrappers of Snickers and Magnums and dribbles. Some beautiful nights in my life. In beds and on couches, on Sundays just lounging with comfort and calmness and arms wrapped around me and popcorn drowning out crunching through films. Some beautiful nights in my life. But sitting here as night falls, reading to you, as you point to a cow and I attempt at a moo, and you laugh, and I do it again just for you. And the rain is pouring down, and the sound makes you calm, and your eyelids start sinking, and you battle them not to. Of all of the nights and stars I've walked through, of all of the nights and parties I've been to, I've had no greater night times than reading to you. Till you sleep, open-mouthed, ear on my arm, heart to my heart with a laugh as you drift into dreams, and I finish the book, though I know you're already asleep. I stare at your face in that still, silent room. The best nights of my life have been reading to you. Right, and this is the last one from that book. I do sort of get that now in lockdown. My boyfriend started reading to me for half an hour each night, so I've sort of got it, but I don't read to anyone. Now it's the other way around, which is fine. This one I wrote when she was 1 year and 8 months old, and I like to put the date and the sort of where I am on a lot of the poems, and I was in Australia when I wrote this poem, and I was on a tour doing poetry for a thing called a poetry slam, like a poetry competition, and I got a flight paid to go to Australia, and I went there with my daughter and her dad, and it was a very white area of Australia, and my daughter doesn't have the same skin colour as me, she's got light brown skin, and people kept asking me all the time like who she was when we were walking and when we were in the play parks and stuff. They just couldn't get their head round, you know, you can have a different hair colour as your kids and no one bats an eyelid, different eye colour, but different skin colour, people seem to find annoyingly difficult, and people kept asking me if she was mine, so much so that I started to just be like, no, and stare at them and see what they would do. So I wrote this poem. This is another one I guess I wrote because I was annoyed. Quite a lot of my poems come from being annoyed. If I'm in a good mood, I tend to want to just see my friends and go out and have a nice time or whatever. And if I'm in a bad mood, I'm more likely to be on my own, which is the time when I'm more likely to write. So I wrote this about people, not everyone in Australia obviously, but in the place where I was, and about how weird it is that we seem to find it so difficult that 2 skin colours could mix and make a new skin colour, even though we find that perfectly fine with every other sort of painting experience. So yeah, this is when my daughter was 1 year, 8 months old, and it's like 2 short poems that go together. Colours. Sometimes I think people must have never seen the colour green. Mixed blue with yellow on a palette, sat back and sighed at how beautiful it is to have more than 3 colours in this world, not just yellow, blue and red. Sometimes I think people must have never curled a paintbrush around a bend, seen indigo or turquoise blends, orange, brown or purple trends, just yellow, blue and red. I think a lot about what Alice Walker says. Contemplate how the gardens here, the beaches, the cliff-top views, the seaweed caught between your toes would glow if we never mixed things up a bit, dipped our feet coldly in just yellow, blue and red. Set in primary solidity, no mixtures please, 3 coloured blobs on separate plates of paint, split in rainbow rays into the most basic set of shades. When people ask me if the little girl with me, who holds my hand and calls me mum and walks along the street with me, is mine, I wonder if they've ever seen sunshine split through raindrops, or stopped to watch how paint morphs into new shades every time you stroke a brush across a page. And this is called Angel, and it's a similar scene, but I wrote it after taking her. We went to a gallery. I think I went and did a gig in a gallery, and there was lots of pictures of angels, but all the angels had that sort of Hitler Youth look, like blonde hair, blue eyes. So I wrote this for her. You're the most beautiful child in the world, but their angels do not look like you. You're the most blissful vision I've seen all my days, but their angels are not in your hue. You're the reason I threw their Bible away. You're the reason I don't close my eyes when they pray, as their angels are pale-faced, blonde and blue-eyed. You're the reason I've thrown those teachings aside. Because there is angel in your curly brown hair. There is angel in your caramel face. There is angel in your dark soil eyes. There is angel in your quickening pace. So walk away, little kid, walk away from their martyrs, their angels and saints. Walk away, little kids, walk away from their pens and their paper and paints. Walk away, little kid, from their praise, until Jesus is drawn in truer dark shades, until the colonised faces are not so cheap, until angels in museums in large gilded frames look exactly like you when you sleep. Right, that was the last one from that book.